Yeah, good afternoon. I'm Nestor White. I've been acquainted with earthworks for over 25 years. We originally built these ponds ourselves 22 years ago, my two sons and I, and we bought some rock and other things from earthworks. And the ponds got a little bit old and dated and it didn't have the best kind of filtration system. So I'm turning to earthworks to do a new project for us. They only want an arm and a leg, but they do great work. I'm sure I won't be disappointed. What we had originally was an upper pond with fish and a lower pond and a couple of waterfalls in the upper pond. And as we'd feed the water in there, it would spill down to like a stream bed that connected the two ponds. And we had stepping stones across the stream. So I wanted to keep a similar layout for the rebuild. And what we're doing this time is pretty interesting. Earthworks has come up with a way to do an in-ground bog, and instead of having it as a separate area, they're building the bog underneath a water lily pond that we're going to put in right in this area. So they're going down to halfway to China, about 7 feet, and they're going to put the bog in under there. We'll pump all the water up through that. That'll be running 24 hours a day. And then that water will be capped off with a water lily pond with about 7 different colors of water lilies. The water lily pond will have 2 waterfalls spilling down into the fish pond. And we're also going to retain the stepping stone idea, so we'll actually be able to walk across the water lily pond, which will be a pretty interesting thing. My grandkids used to have a blast years ago trying to walk across the water. They thought that was pretty cool. So down here, if you want to look over here with the camera, this area is all going to be koi and goldfish. And we're going to have 2 pumps. One pump will feed the bog and the bog waterfalls, and then the water lily pond will waterfall down into the fish pond. But we're going to have another big pump, and we're going to build a waterfall feature near where the dirt pile is here, and there'll be another big waterfall up here at the top of the water lily pond. So we'll have that on a timer, so that pump will just come on for, mid-morning on to about midnight. And so we'll have extra water feeding the water lily pond, which will spill down here, but we'll have the separate big waterfall that will come down into the fish pond. We're going to add some lighting in here, so at night we have a roll-up screen room, so we push a button and the screens can come up and down, and we can sit out here and enjoy the fish and the plants. We'll be putting in a grill station and pavers, so when it's all done, it's going to be pretty nice. You can see I do a lot of gardening. I plan to landscape all around it when the pond is finished. You get a little different view of the pond from here. The one thing that was exciting for the planners at Earthworks is we actually have some elevation in the yard. So they were real excited to have a pond where the terrain is sloping. And what we're going to have here eventually are some really big boulders around the outside, and with the waterfalls built into those, there'll be 2 waterfalls, and there'll be boulders up here. So it's going to have a much more natural look than what we had originally, and I think it's going to turn out really good. We're going to stock it again with goldfish and koi. We'll have some plants in the water, but mostly this area will just be all water lilies. We'll have like a hot pink tropical, maybe a blue, a red, a white, a yellow, and a regular pink as a minimum. Probably that's about all we can fit in a pond this size, but we'll put some mosquito fish in here to keep any insects down, and in the lower pond. But we're going to have an ionizer, the 2 pumps, a couple of bubblers, lighting. It's going to be a complete system, and they definitely have the expertise to do the job the right way. And I highly recommend them if you're considering a pond addition or a new, standalone pond feature.
How y'all doing today? I'm Tim, Earthworks. We're doing another fantastic pond here. This is a very unique one. We don't really get the chance to do these much, but this here, if the typical pond, aquascape pond, you have your skimmer at the end and you have a biofall at the top. This here is biofall on steroids. So what I'm standing on top here, this here is called the bog. So right underneath us, we got about 15 aqua blocks and about 5 feet of gravel, different layers. So we got large gravel to medium gravel to small gravel, just to filter up all that different sediment. We have spillway up here that's going to be flowing into this bog here. The bog is being powered by a 2000 pump on its own. So if the homeowner wants to turn off the feature or turn off the 2 falls that are going to be over here, he still has this beneficial bacteria going in there, and it doesn't create a lot of noise for the homeowner. So yeah, so we have a spillway up here, we're going to have a spillway over there, and that's going to be attached to a 48 pump. And that's going to go through here into the bog going to go waterfalling into the pond. Then we're going to have a fall coming into the pond from over there. So it's a lot of different action. We've got a bunch of rock, that's as you can see. But yeah, still working on the pond feature over here. Should have this all rocked up today. And then a little button up, we should be done by Friday. We got also 6 lights in here. So we got 6 3 watts that are going to light up the bottom, light up with that. And then we got 6 1 watts that are going to be lighting up each different fall that's going to be up on here. So it's definitely going to be illuminated at night. So when the homeowner wants to just sit out there, sip a mimosa, something like that, they're going to see all their little fish in the pond at night. It's almost done. Just final couple touches. And Glenn right now is working on autofill, iogen, and the dosing system. We just got done hooking up the lights. Carl's back there burying the wire. But here it is. Nice little koi pond from what they had before till now. Now they're living the aquascape lifestyle. We ran it earlier, and I can tell you that the falls up there are amazing. You got a nice sheep fall coming off this flagstone up the top, and then it splits, come down to a little cascading waterfall on this side and a little fall on that side. And this bog comes down, and it's a nice fall that comes into the pond. So it's a lot of action. It's a lot of aeration for the fish whenever he puts it in there. But right now we're trying to slowly but surely raise the water level so we could see it one more time before we head out. But yeah, definitely been a project. The bog was something else. Walls caving in and all that, but got it done. 2 weeks, another pond done, another client happy and jolly. So.
Of course, the water's not clear yet, but it'll clear up in the next couple days. It will be real pretty. I'm going to put an 8x10 building over there by that skimmer net. And then this all here will be landscaped along the fence, and I'll have the sidewalk coming down. Then we're going to pour the driveway slab up about to where that post is sticking up there with the equipment hooked on it. Tomorrow I'll get some fish and a few plants, and we'll start bringing this pond to life.